Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to save my friend's childhood games, starting with his Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow. These still have their save files in it, so let's check them out. They have the original battery from when they were first released, so it's amazing that these games still have their save files at all, because a lot of batteries have died by now. So this is his Pokemon Red. And there's a save file. His name is Ash, and he has 26 Pokemon and has played for 18 hours. Let's see what Pokemon he has. Well, he's beaten all the gyms, so that's cool. And then here's his Pokemon: Wartortle, Mewtwo, Charizard, Raichu, and Venusaur. All pretty high leveled, and then he's seen 115 Pokemon. Not bad. So that's his Pokemon Red. And let's check out Pokemon Yellow. Make sure the save file is still on here since I've received it. So with this Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red, I am going to back up their save files using my GB operator, which is a device that can read your Pokemon cartridges or any Game Boy cartridge or Game Boy Advance cartridge and back up the save files or upload the save files. So here is his Pokemon Yellow save file. He's on the SSN and he's got a Pikachu, Pidgeotto, Nidorina, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. And he is played for 4 hours and has 2 badges. So we're going to try to back that up for him. And here are his games. We are going to clean them up. So I'm going to remove the cartridge cases from the game. And then his Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold actually already have the files erased from them. Their batteries died. So unfortunately, I can't save their save files since they're already gone. This Pokemon Ruby here, for some reason, isn't working. It won't even turn on. So I'm gonna clean it up and see if I can get it to work. I just kind of suspect that maybe it's just a little too dirty for the cartridge to be read. But there could be something more going on with it, but for now I think it might just be dirty. So I'm gonna get some isopropyl alcohol and clean it up. This side of the case is quite dirty, so I'm gonna really give this a good scrub and hopefully get this all cleaned up. It requires a toothbrush. It's so just has so much gunk on it. This actually took me a while to clean with how dirty it was. This thing was very, very dirty. Quite gross. This is not the first cotton swab I used on it. And now that one's clean, we're gonna clean this part, which looks way cleaner than the back of the cart, thankfully. So this shouldn't take me nearly as long to clean. And then once this is done, I'm going to clean the actual game. And I'm gonna just set these aside now that they're clean. And let's clean these pens. They're quite very dirty, so I suspect I might be right with the pens just needing to be cleaned here. I do think the battery's also probably dead. A lot of my Gen 3 games already have their batteries that have died and I've had to replace them, so I very much suspect that the internal battery is just dried now. So I'll probably need to change that as well if I had to take a guess. The actual back of the cartridge isn't too bad. It was mostly the pens that were just really dirty, and they're not too bad off. They're not too worn. So let's go ahead and clean the rest of these cartridges. I'm just gonna open them all up and line them up so that way they're way easier to clean. Cleaning your cartridges is very important. So the reason why it's important is because if you don't clean them over time, they can get corrosion from the dirt and grime on them. So cleaning your cartridges regularly is a must to keep them in proper working condition. I actually have some corrosion on some of my games, which I didn't know back then to clean them. nor did I have the tools to do it, but doing that, if you can, will definitely increase the longevity of your cartridges. I actually have a Pokemon Crystal that has some corrosion on one of the pens, and thankfully it's only on a small portion of the pen, so it still can be read. But the thing is, I can't insert the cartridge all the way down and have it properly seated in the Game Boy. It has to be like slightly up, like not fully seated, for the cartridge to be read, and I highly suspect that is because there is corrosion on the pens. So yeah, just clean your cartridges, guys. Isopropyl alcohol and some cotton swabs will do the trick. The other reason I need to clean these, besides just keeping them in good condition, is so that when I go to use the GB operator, the save files on Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red don't get deleted. How do I know that, you ask? Well, let me tell you. When I first got the GB operator, I was not aware that if the contacts are not cleaned, that there is a chance that your game will be deleted. So I just put in my cartridge of Pokemon Red in there, thinking that everything will be all hunky-dory, and then it wasn't. My game got deleted, and that was a sad time. I actually have a full video on it if you want to watch that, but now that I know that the pens need to be fully cleaned beforehand so the games don't get erased, you know, I just am not going to take any chances. I'm going to clean them. So there is still a chance that the games could still be deleted. So I do know that having a battery that is old and on the last leg of its life can also trigger an erasure event on your cartridges, because of the, like, I don't know, sometimes it can like cause a short or something. I'm not sure. But that's what I've heard, that a not so great battery can also cause your games to be erased. So there's still a small chance that that could happen to these cartridges, and I've warned my friend that that's a possibility still, but hopefully cleaning them will make that risk a lot lower. And this is almost cleaned. Alright, it's looking pretty good. So now that these are all cleaned, I think I'm gonna test that Pokemon Ruby and see if it works now. Alright, now that that's inserted, let's turn it on. Moment of truth. Oh, I got the Nintendo logo. And yeah, there it is. It's working. So yeah, the problem was literally just the pens were dirty. Alright, awesome. So let's see if the battery, the battery is dry. So I was right about that. And here is his save file. Let's check out to see what's on it. Let's see what his Pokemon team is like. Oh, he's got a level 100 Ho-Oh. Alright. That is also shiny. Wow. Okay. Let's see what's on his PC. Because now that I know he's got a level 100 shiny Ho-Oh on his team, I'm very curious to see what else he has in here. Wow. Okay, so we got some legendaries right off the bat. A level 100 shiny Celebi. Wild. Okay. And a level 100 Lugia, also shiny. And a shiny Rayquaza. This is crazy. Okay, you can see that better now. All caught in a Master Ball. 2 waves. And a shiny Kyogre. Some other Pokemon here. And then a shiny Deoxys. And an Entei. What a box. Alright, well I definitely think I'm gonna back up this save file for him. Let me see if there's anything else in here. No, that looks like that's it. That was pretty interesting. I was not expecting that, but this is his Pokemon Ruby, and we're gonna change the battery in that later. And we are going to back it up now. So this is the GB operator, and we're just gonna go to data, backup save, and start. And then once the save is backed up, the dot grid, or the data grid I mean, will turn blue, just like that. And now it is backed up. So that's pretty much that. And now we can take a look at his Game Boy. So this Game Boy doesn't have any batteries in it. So let me throw some in there to make sure I can properly test this Game Boy. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but just to double check here. Those in and throw on the back, and it's not working. Okay, so that's basically what I suspected would happen. Hardly doubt it would just randomly start working again, but you never know. So I'm gonna take these out. Oh, and I can actually see that there is some battery corrosion on the contact there. So that's probably why it's not working. Look at that. Absolutely, completely covered in battery acid. Lovely. Okay, well now that we know that that's probably why there's no power, let's clean these contacts off. So I'm gonna have to use distilled white vinegar to neutralize the contacts. But first I am going to remove all of these screws on the Game Boy so I can better clean the contacts. Just remove that. And then I'm gonna take off the back so I can properly give these a good clean. And looking at the inside of this thing, it actually looks really good despite the corrosion or battery acid on the contacts. So hopefully that's the only thing wrong with this Game Boy, is just the corrosion, or battery acid, I mean. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and start cleaning these contacts. Trying to remove this from the case so I could clean it better, but I cannot for the life of me get this thing out. It's like really in there. I don't know how the heck I'm supposed to get this out. Okay, I might just have to try from the back here maybe. Okay, well I couldn't get it out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this the best I can. Hopefully I get all of the battery acid. I'm just gonna really be as thorough as I possibly can. And the reason why you want to use distilled vinegar and not isopropyl alcohol is because white distilled vinegar neutralizes the acids and chemicals in the battery acid. If you use isopropyl alcohol, you're gonna get fumes and you're gonna get a headache and it's gonna make you feel bad. So please use white vinegar if you ever have this problem with one of your electronical devices. I just made up a word. Electronical is not a word. Your electronic devices. So I'm gonna clean this one up here. It's not actually that bad. It's mostly just this contact that has battery acid on it. So I'm gonna clean up both, but I mostly just see it on this one. There is some like stuff on here that's not coming off, so hopefully that doesn't like affect its ability to get energy from the battery. But I think it should be fine. I think as long as it is making contact enough with a battery, it should still work. If not, I guess it would need to be replaced, but for now I think it's probably fine. Okay, now that that's done, I am going to take a dry little cotton swab and dry up this white vinegar because I am going to use isopropyl alcohol to remove the white vinegar from these. The reason why you want to do this is because the white vinegar, because it's an acid, will eventually eat away at the metal here. So you don't want to leave white distilled vinegar on your electronic devices. It's good for cleaning up the battery acid, but you definitely don't want to leave it on there. So I'm going to clean it right up with the isopropyl alcohol. And then that should be nice and clean and hopefully make good contact with the batteries. Okay, so this is looking pretty good and clean. Just get the backs here. Oh, I accidentally threw that. Okay, let me just clean these up, get the white distilled vinegar off of these guys the best I can, and then hopefully this Game Boy will work. Really wish I could have removed this from the case because I feel not great about not being able to get them out, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm not gonna screw the screws back in. I'm just gonna put the batteries in the back of this case and see if it works, because if it doesn't, then we need to do some tests to see what else is wrong with this Game Boy. Oh, but it's on! I forgot to turn it off. Look at me. Okay, so well, that solves that problem. Good as new. I take these out, and then I can screw the screws back in. But looking at the back here, there's like battery acid juice on this case, so I am going to clean that up. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so I'm basically doing the same process. Cleaned it with white distilled vinegar and then with isopropyl alcohol. I'm just cleaning up the battery casing just to make sure no more battery acid is in there, and I'm gonna clean the rest of this Game Boy a little bit. It was dirtier than you would think. Alright, I'm gonna put the screws back in here. Okay, and that is fully put back together now. Not bad. So that's that. And now we are going to back up the Pokemon Red and Yellow save files. Okay, so here is Pokemon Red. I'm actually going to just start the game to make sure the save file was not erased when I plugged it in. I'm just gonna click start here. I'm gonna get through the beginning. And okay, the save file is still there, so it didn't get erased. That's good. So I'm just gonna go to data and backup save. I'm gonna click on that and then hit start, and then the data grid should light up. And there we go. The backup is saved. The saved is backed up. However you say that. Okay, time for Yellow. There it is. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna check the save file to make sure it did not get erased. But I'm just gonna back up the save anyway real quick. Just get that out of the way. Okay, it is backed up. If it was deleted, I'll just erase the backup save file. But okay, now I'm gonna go to play. Then I'm gonna hit start just to make sure the save file is actually there. Okay, it's still there. I suspected it would be since Red's was still there, but you never know. Alright, so now I'm gonna get to removing the batteries. This is Pokemon Yellow I'm working on right now. I'm just trying to desolder this battery from here. And there it is. I'm gonna clean up the contacts real quick so that way I can put more solder and solder the battery on. It's not too hard to desolder and solder the batteries on yourself, so if you want to do that, I highly recommend. You just need a good soldering iron, really. I'm gonna put some more solder on here, and this is Pokemon Gold now that I've changed out the Pokemon Yellow. I'm just gonna desolder these contacts, and there it goes. I'm pretty much going to do this for all of the games, so I still have Silver, Red, and Pokemon Ruby left. Pokemon Ruby is gonna be a little more difficult to do because the battery is on top of one of the chips, and you kind of have to like bend the little tabs down so it can reach the contact points. So that's kind of difficult, but it's not too bad. Also, yes, these batteries I'm putting in the cartridges, right now, are smaller than the original ones, and that's because these are actually, these batteries function for both the GBA and GB cartridges. So even though it's smaller, it functions and does the same as the original battery. I just opted to get the smaller version since I can use it on both of the cartridges rather than just one. It's not as aesthetic, but it gets the job done. So I would rather save money just a little bit. Okay, So gold is working, which means that my battery change was successful. Okay, let's do Pokemon Silver. Okay, it is working. I didn't mess up the game, so that's good to know. Whenever you change batteries, you want to actually wait for the cartridges to cool down, because if you try to turn them on right after, the game is too hot to actually be read, just FYI. So Pokemon Yellow seems to be working, and the save data is in fact gone, but that's fine because we backed it up before we changed the battery. And then let's check out the Pokemon Red, make sure it's still working. And its save file is probably also deleted. And yep, there it is. Okay, so all these games are functioning still, so that's good. And now I'm going to test out Pokemon Ruby to make sure it's still functioning, which it should be, but you never know. Okay, so I'm getting the Nintendo logo, so it looks like it's still working. I will check to make sure the save file is still there. It probably is, since these save files work kind of differently. And there it is. I am very grateful that Gen 3 doesn't need the battery to be there in order for the save file to exist. Now that the batteries are changed out, let's upload the save file back to Pokemon Red. So I'm just gonna hit start. And now you guys can't see it, but there's a little window that popped up for me. And I'm going to select the save file from that folder that I saved it in and upload it. And the dot grid has indicated that it uploaded it. So now I'm just going to hit start and see if the save file is there. Moment of truth. Okay, the save file is now there, which is good. Now I am going to do Pokemon Yellow's save file. Okay, here's Pokemon Yellow, and we're basically going to do the exact same thing we did for Red by going to Data, clicking on Upload Save, Start, and then I'm going to select the save file from the pop-up that you guys cannot see, and then there it is. It has been uploaded, so I'm going to hit Start to make sure it is in fact there. Awesome! The save file is there, so that means we have successfully restored his game, and we have basically fixed all of his Pokemon games and his Game Boys, which means he'll have them for many more years to come. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!